All right. Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. Welcome to another episode of the He Said, She Said Sports Talk Podcast. We are your hosts. I am Big Red. This is Tony. What's good, Tony? How
What's
are you?
up? Memorial Day
Chilling?
weekend. So
Yes, happy
we're
Memorial Day
Tuesday.
weekend to everyone out there. We've had some busy weekends for sure. With the holidays, spending time with family and stuff like that. I'm out of town, and you went to a Beyonce concert the other day. What, isn't that right?
I
At
did.
MetLife Stadium.
Yep, Saturday night.
Yeah,
Saturday night.
yeah, yeah,
Long weekend.
yeah. Definitely a
was
long weekend. How was that though? How was the
it was
concert? I'm sure.
awesome. It was my friend will tell you it was life-changing. Um,
Yeah,
Probably have to agree. She puts on quite the show.
I believe it. That's what I hear from everybody. That's why she got so many fans. For
Yeah.
sure. And they
It was
show up for. They definitely show up for sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was real. It was I mean about as good a concert as a show as I've seen. She really puts on like the whole show. And it's very powerful some of the
did
stuff
she have her girls out there with her?
she did. She did
Yeah,
have the girls out there with her. Blue Ivy's out there like in every set. So
yeah, yeah.
I'm that's it's awesome. It's a
No,
family
that's what's up.
for her too.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's what's up. Yeah, no, I'm out here in Nashville right now. I'm always in Nashville. My brother Dewey's got an album release party this Thursday. His album drops this Thursday, first rock album he's doing. So congrats to him. That's why we're out here right now. But yeah, busy weekend, busy week for both of us. But let's get into it though. We'll talk about the NBA. Obviously there were playoff games yesterday. We got games tonight as well. But OKC, they won in a close game, 128-126 over Minnesota to take the lead 3-1 to put a real chokehold on the series, for real, my opinion. I'm sure you feel the same way.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you go up 3-1, there's a lot of coming back to do.
Yeah,
So,
it's rough. I mean, only LeBron and them did it in the finals, that year, 2016, which was crazy. But, usually when you go down 3-1, it's hard to win three in a row, you
mhm.
know. But, we'll see how many they can win, if any. Anthony Edwards, he only took 13 shots, had 16 points.
Yeah.
Uh, Definitely didn't play well. I felt like if he would have played better, Minnesota could have probably pulled it out. I mean, it was only a 2-point game, but well, yeah, no, definitely. Jalen Williams, he balled out too for OKC. He had a career playoff high 34 points. So, I mean, they Czech had a good game as well. So, I mean, OKC just seems poised to go to the finals, definitely for
Look, I mean,
sure.
they were the one seed for a reason, and honestly, at this point in both series, they look like the most complete team, the most ready to win a title. If you had to ask me of all four teams, and
Yeah,
unfortunately, as a Knicks fan, it seems like the Thunder just kind of have it together, and um, you know,
Mhm.
it's been a really fun ride, but uh,
Yeah.
there's so much superpower on that team. Like,
Mhm. Yeah, no, they definitely are coming in. They've been doing it all year, but they definitely locked in and come into form. I mean, the Timberwolves led the game in a lot of categories. I mean, field goal percentage, 3-pointer percentage, free throw percentage, rebounds, and still lost the game. So it just goes to show. Like it was like every time Minnesota. I was watching some of it last night. It was like every time Minnesota tried to, get back in it, OKC would just do something. Just go do something. SGA had 40 points. It was like every time they tried to do something, OKC would come right back and strike. It was like they couldn't close it.
mhm.
But I mean, it ended up being a 2-point game, close game. But tonight we have the Knicks who won the other day to win a game, which was much needed. I'm glad they did because I did not want to see the series go 3-0. You definitely wouldn't have had expected it to go 3-0, but I definitely didn't want to see it. So I am glad the Knicks won that game to kind of make it the series again for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the Pacers were up 2-0 on them heading into, the second part of this series that's now taking place in Indiana.
Indiana, yeah.
And what's crazy is in all of those, in the entirety of two games of play, the point differential was about 6 points. These
Yeah,
are close games, and the Knicks have played close games in all three games now. They were finally able to get over the hump and win one of those. Uh,
yeah,
but down 20 at one point, a second half collapse, I would say, for the Indiana defense,
yeah.
but also Carl Anthony Towns just putting this team on his back. And if I were the Knicks, I would be giving the ball to Cat and letting him take it to the hole because there was no stopping him in that
Yeah,
fourth
yeah.
quarter. The problem is, and it's just, maybe I'm just a Knicks fan, but the officiating is so lopsided. It is
Yeah.
so lopsided. If just look at one point, they're like, this is, Cat's second time on the line tonight. It was the fourth quarter.
hmm
Are you kidding me? Are you are you fucking kidding me? Like that's
Yeah, yeah.
crazy. That's beyond. You know,
Mm,
and you just look at it like how many times they go to the line versus the Pacers. It's not close. And
yeah.
just seems like they're getting calls, but what I will say, is the Pacers do a really, really fucking good job of making the extra pass. They find the open player and they get wide open looks more than
hmm
the Knicks do. The Knicks are taking good shots, but
They're
contested
patient.
shots.
Yeah, they're patient for
They're
sure. Yeah.
really patient and they play off of the Knicks, the way the Knicks switch, especially with that 1-5 matchup. They're not coming out and guarding the three. They're not having Cat or Robinson come out and guard the three. And so the
hmm
Knicks are getting a lot of looks there as well. So,
Yeah.
team that shoots the three well, especially like Nimhard's been shooting the three well. They are capitalizing on the Knicks' weaknesses.
hmm Yeah, no, but it just seemed like this last game, the Knicks kind of like played, the Pacers play at a fast pace. So, it kind of like things kind of slow down for the Knicks. They kind of kept up with the pace with the Pacers,
Yes.
no
And
pun
they
intended.
reached into their bench depth, which was not, I mean, it was necessary because of the foul trouble for Brunson, but
hmm
they reached into their bench and look at that. They came back from a 20-point deficit, largely without Jalen Brunson, which,
Yeah, yeah.
that's your guy. And absolutely, he's still the guy. But he's
hmm
having a tough night. He was in foul trouble. And, I think the Knicks proved to themselves that and maybe even Tibbs proved himself like I can reach into my bench depth and I can use that to avoid foul trouble, to avoid tiredness. Like they played fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Brian played great minutes. Like you can't ask for
Mhm.
more from your bench guys. And Josh Hart was exceptional on the boards.
Yeah, no, definitely. He had 10 of them, I think. Yeah. Um, I think I like the Knicks. I picked the Pacers to win the series, but I wouldn't be mad if the Knicks did win. I would like to see them in the finals. They haven't been in a long time. Um, but and it would just be great for basketball to see New York, you know,
Yeah.
at the pinnacle and have an NBA finals in Madison Square Garden. That would be bonkers for the city. I know they're going crazy in the playoffs right now, but for them to have a NBA Finals game in Madison Square Garden would be legendary for this day and age for sure. But I need to see more out of Mikal Bridges. I mean, he had 15 points. Don't get me wrong, but I know he's capable. I just feel like he's capable of more.
Yeah, I
You
hear
know,
you.
so you
Yeah.
know, he definitely somebody who I watch and keep an eye on and just like, come on, man, like it's the playoffs, like let's go, pick it up. But no, it's a
As a
good
team,
series for sure.
they have to limit turnovers. Because the
Yeah, definitely.
turnovers went crazy. Even the other day when they won, turnovers went crazy,
hmm
and the
Yeah, no,
turnovers almost always turn into points with the Pacers.
yeah, no, definitely 100%. It's going to be a good series. I'm glad the Knicks won. We'll see what happens tonight. They play tonight at 8 p.m. in Indiana, so let's see if the Knicks can get two in a row to go back to New York. One thing I forgot to mention too as well. I'll give a shout out to LeBron making a All NBA team at 40. It's kind of crazy. Uh, Definitely got to give him a shout out. He made the second team.
Yeah.
Yeah, 21 All NBA's teams. So yeah, definitely crazy. Shout out to LeBron, Ohio boy for sure.
It's amazing to
But
be doing what he's doing at 40. It's
yeah, what crazy.
great.
Yeah, definitely. LeBron gets a lot of hate for sure. I know I got a friends personally that hate LeBron, but that's a whole nother story. But I got to give him some love on that for sure. Definitely, 100%.
No hate to
We,
LeBron. You know I'm a Jordan girl, but no hate to LeBron.
yeah, we're gonna have to have that debate for the fans one day. I think we're gonna have to do that. The
I
whole
think we should
Jordan.
have them weigh in too. Let's look at some
Yeah,
comments as well.
yeah, definitely. We're gonna have to do something where we have the debate of who's the GOAT or whatever. The Jordan LeBron thing. Yeah, we definitely have to do that and have the fans interact. Definitely for sure. Um, let's go into the WNBA. There's a lot of things going on with that. The Indiana Fever. I'll kind of let you talk about that with the Indiana Fever putting out a statement. When
Yeah,
did that statement come out?
today. It came out today.
Today.
Um, Let me pull up the exact quote for you. So, obviously, last week we got a lot of traction when we talked about the Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark
Uh-huh.
situation. And like
Yeah.
I said, I commend the WNBA for doing an investigation into Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky's allegations that the
Mhm.
Indiana Fever fans were inappropriate in their behavior and the things that they said and did that were racially charged and racially motivated.
Yeah.
So the WNBA concluded their investigation. And so the Fever put out this statement today that says, in response to the WNBA's recently concluded investigation, Pacers Sports and Entertainment CEO Mel Raines has issued the following statement. We appreciate the swift and thorough process undertaken by the WNBA to investigate these allegations, which were not substantiated. At Gainbridge Fieldhouse, we are committed to providing the best possible basketball experience for players and fans where hate speech has absolutely no place. Indiana is home to the world's greatest fans, and we look forward to an exciting season of Fever basketball. My takeaway from that is basically that like we said, I think the allegations were maybe blown out of proportion and that
We kind of
he's
talked about
being
that.
booed. If Angel Reese is being booed, that's one thing. Like we got to learn to that's basketball,
That's
baby.
basketball. Yeah, that's sports. Period. So.
But but
Mhm.
if it had been substantiated those claims, then there would have been a greater issue. But from everything that we've seen, maybe, that was just could have just been more of Angel Reese driving traffic to
Yeah.
her brand.
Uh-huh. Yeah, definitely. I
It's
mean,
unfortunate because it goes against, what you want to say. You want to believe all the best things, but
mhm.
it seems like those were not substantial claims.
Yeah, definitely weren't substantial. Like I said, we kind of talked about it. It just sucks that people try to make it about a racial thing just because we're dealing with a black woman and a white woman. It's just about basketball. Kind of like we spoke about.
Hmm.
Like I said, it was to me. I feel the same way. It was blown out of proportion. Fans are going to boo. Fans are going to boo Caitlyn as well. She's been dealing with a lot as far as like people trying to, be more physical with her this year and try to bully her. She's not backing down. She got into it with the Ryan Howard girl. Told her like, I'm not scared of you. And I support Caitlin Clark for sure. I don't have a problem with Angel Reese either. I support her as well. But Caitlin Clark, she's definitely a baller, and I like the fact that they are going at her, and I like even more of the fact that she's not scared and she's going back at them. I
Hmm.
love that. That makes it more competitive, makes the game more competitive. And I think the WNBA has gotten more competitive over the last couple of years because of that. So
Yeah. I do hope they can become a little more accepting of her. It feels like Paige Bueckers' transition to the league has been way smoother than Caitlin's ever was, and
yeah,
ever has been. So
Uh-huh.
it's tough. And in preseason she was dealing with that quad injury. Now we've got news that that quad injury is going to cause her to miss at least 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
She's out for a chunk of time.
Mm-hmm.
Just, this is the face of your league, like it or not.
Yeah.
This is the person that's driving your ratings. This is the person that's driving engagement and conversation and, you know,
Yeah.
suck it up.
She's
Like
the
suck it up and
like
enjoy
you said,
it.
she's the face of the league. She's the future of the league for sure. Don't get me wrong. Asia Wilson, she's definitely one of those as well. But like I said, as far as like the young future, Caitlin Clark is that. Not saying there won't be any other girls who could be a part of that, but as of right now, like I said, she's definitely the face of the league. She's going to be one of the best players. She's probably the best shooter in the WNBA. So, her talents back all of that up. So it's not just publicity or anything. So definitely shout out to her. I wanted to give a shout out to Angel Reese, by the way. She, in 35 games, became the fastest player to reach 450 points, 450 rebounds. So shout out to her. It took her 35 games. But yeah, no, shout out to her definitely. Let's talk about your girl Kelsey Plum. She joins the 500 three-pointer club. Um, she made like six threes the other night, I believe, in her game. So
Yep, settling in really well with the Sparks. I think the it seems like the Sparks lucked out maybe a little bit better than the Aces did in that trade.
I think so. I definitely think so as well.
Just based on chemistry over nothing else, not on talent, but on chemistry.
No, definitely 100% for
Asia
sure.
Wilson's still doing it all for the Aces. And, as much as I like Jewel Lloyd and she's extremely talented, don't think
Mhm.
that necessarily she's found her groove there yet and kind of what her role is going to be with the Aces when Asia Wilson is your leading scorer, your leading rebounder, your leading everything. She's leading
Yeah.
every category.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, she's leading in all categories for sure. She's a beast, definitely. I like her a lot as well.
Mhm.
It's nothing she really can't do for sure.
Yeah.
But
We
no,
talked
shout
a
out.
little bit about Paige. Should we talk about Dallas's struggles a little bit?
Yeah, we can. That definitely. Let's get into it. Why
Yeah,
do you think? Why do you? I'll ask you this. Why do you think they are struggling?
I think it's a couple of things. I think just bringing a couple of people in and hoping that your number one overall pick can reroute your entire team history
Hmm.
uh, is definitely a risk.
Yeah.
And most, even if you're the number one pick, most people cannot put in, most rookies can't put an entire team on their back. Just not possible.
Hmm.
Two, I think that some of the Wings players that were traded away, or were let go, are
Yeah.
finding a lot of success in other programs, and that's interesting. So what is going wrong in that program that they weren't succeeding there?
Eating. Yeah.
Um, Dejanay Carrington has got to get going. She's got to get going. Like she just real I feel like she hasn't found her groove yet. Uh,
Hmm.
and then Arike Ogunbowale and Paige Bueckers have to figure out the guard point guard dynamic and settle into their roles better. They're 0 and
Yeah.
4 right now, and I think it's a lot to do with team chemistry.
Yeah. That's what I was just. You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just about to ask you. You
Mm.
think it has something to do with the chemistry? They kind of haven't built their chemistry yet. It kind of
And
gonna
and
take.
it's a brand new head coach. She's never been a head coach before.
Hmm.
So on top of them not necessarily gelling right away on the basketball court, because it seems like they all get along off the court, but on the basketball court, on top of that, you have a young green head coach,
Hmm.
and you're putting out on him to help out too with team chemistry. And
Yeah.
so it just seems like something hasn't clicked yet. But people also said this about the Fever last year. And then after the All-Star break, after Caitlyn got a little bit of rest, They were finally able to figure it out about halfway through the season and make
Yeah,
a run at it. So it's
and that's a great point.
highly possible with the talent on that Dallas team that they're able to do that as well.
Yeah, no, that's a great point you make too, because it did take them a little bit of time before they kicked it into gear. The fever, that is what I'm talking about. But no, that's a definitely great point. I agree though. I feel like it's going to take time for them to build their chemistry. They got talent. They got some good players, so it's just going to take a little bit more time. But once they get it rocking, I think they'll be fine for sure.
Yeah. And then shout out to the Minnesota Lynx and the New York Liberty, your
Yeah,
finals teams from last year, both undefeated to start the
yeah.
season.
The last two standing. Yeah,
Hmm.
definitely.
And it does look like the Valkyries are doing okay despite a lot of criticism from me included about the way that they formulated this team. It is working for them.
Yeah, yeah. It definitely is for sure. We'll see, how far it gets them this year, but yeah, no, definitely. They're looking better than what people thought
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, 100%. Quick question, back on the Caitlin Clark. I mean, she's got the injury, but how do you think the Fever are going to favor without her for those 2 weeks?
It'll be super interesting because that offense runs through her.
Mm-hmm.
There are plenty of capable scorers on that team. I talked about it last week. DeWanna Bonner barely scored in those first two games. She's an all-time leading scorer.
Yeah.
So in the league, So I think that if they're able to run the offense without her, they have
Mm-hmm.
capable scorers on that team. And they have capable defenders on that team and they're not hurting for talent.
Yeah.
They have got veteran, talented leaders on that team.
Yeah.
So
Including the Leah Boston. So
it's
yeah.
it's gonna come down, I think, more to coaching than anything else. How do you get this team to run without Caitlin Clark because you've been running the offense through her?
100% is going to come down to coaching. It's going to definitely have to make some adjustments for sure.
But the talent is there. I'm not worried about the talent and them being able to put together a couple of wins without her.
Yeah, that's basically what I was going to get at about, are they going to be able to sustain wins without Caitlin?
Hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Um, I got quickly on the NFL. I know you don't got a lot to say about this.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, I know you know what. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm gonna say about the Bengals. Obviously not signing Shamar Stewart yet. He's saying there's language in the contract that's not there. That's there for every other first round pick. So that's basically why he's not signing. Maybe the language is not there because they're trying to get everything figured out with Hendrickson beforehand or what. But yeah, what is
Yeah,
your
that's
take?
that's my theory. I think it's really hard not knowing what you're gonna do with Trey to sign anyone else, to know what kind of money, benefits, incentives, whatever that you can allocate towards anyone else until you know what you need to offer Trey to get him to stay and play. Um,
Yeah,
and, if you're not going to play, if you're going to keep him and keep him in the contract that he's in, if he sits out, what does that look like? And do you have to offer somebody else more? Do you have to go get somebody else? Like, what
yeah.
else is there and what's going on with Trey Hendrickson? That's the question. And
Mhm.
so I don't know that we're necessarily going to see anything work out with any other signees until we figure things out with Trey on the defensive end, at least. So
Yeah. Why do you?
hard.
It's a sticky situation for me. It's just like I don't like why are the Bengals taking so long? Like I'm not sure why. Like I said, I don't know what the ins and outs are as far as that goes. But man,
Yeah.
you
I
would
mean,
just love to see it get done and get out the way. So
I would
you know,
love to see it get done because I would love to see him start practicing with the team, and start
100%.
building that team chemistry.
Hmm.
But the Bengals, the front office, people always have criticisms of them, and
Definitely do.
they've
They've
always
been
been
getting a
like,
lot of it lately.
things have moved a little slow in Cincinnati for a long time, and
Yeah.
still managed to get the job done okay.
Mhm.
But I will say the front office has moved differently this offseason than any other offseason that we've ever seen. So
Yeah.
if you don't start to at least have a little faith as a Bengals fan, I mean, maybe not, the non-Bengals fans can be more critical, but as a
I mean,
Bengals
that's exactly who being
as a Bengals
non-critical
fan,
are the non-Bengals fans.
you have to have a little bit of hope that
Hmm.
at least that they've been moving differently. And Trey was one of Joe's must keep guys. So you hope that the front office is able to figure that out. I mean, I don't want to see him burn a season, and I don't
Yeah.
want the Bengals trade him away for less than he's worth just because he's older and he wants the trade. I want
Hmm.
it all to work out for all parties, and I don't think it's off the table that Trey stays, gets a good deal, and plays this year. Um,
Yeah.
I think that he's still open to being in Cincinnati. If he wasn't, it would have been more clear.
Mhm.
And you want the best for everybody in this situation.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, Trey definitely wants. He's already mentioned he wanted to stay in Cincinnati. Cincinnati's his home. You know, his family's there, kids, wife, all that stuff there. Like that's where he wants to be for sure. So I think they definitely need to get this deal done. I think they will get the deal done before the season starts. I feel like it's only going to be right. I don't think he's not going to want to go in to the season uncertain about next year. I think he kind of wants to know where his future is going to be the next few years. Definitely. And as far as like the Bengals, I mean, like you said, everybody knows the Bengals move a little different as far as like, signing people. They definitely spent the most money they ever spent in the offseason this offseason
Mhm.
for sure. So man, like I said, I like Trey. He's y'all's best defensive player. I hope it works out. And then, as far as the language goes, with Shamar Stewart, hopefully they can get that worked out because he needs to get in there. I mean, he didn't have a lot of production in college, so a lot of people are anxious to see, him and how he does and fits in the NFL for sure.
Yeah.
But let's talk the NHL playoffs real quick.
Good.
Yeah,
Um,
yesterday, Carolina won. They beat the Panthers to survive. They were down 3-1, 3-0, but they won 3-0, and they're down 3 games to 1. It seems like Florida pretty much still has a chokehold on this series, even though they lost Game 4. Um, I'm sure you feel the same way. Panthers just been balling.
it feels like the Florida really just has it under control, and that maybe it was a fluke loss for them.
Yeah.
Um, I'd love to see the series go a little longer, so no complaints from me if it does. But
And the NHL playoffs are definitely different. Teams have definitely came back from 3-1 before. So,
yeah,
it's definitely possible. I don't think it's going to happen with the defending champs, but we'll see. The series that we are more in tuned in, the Dallas and Edmonton series, because you're rooting for Dallas, I'm rooting for Edmonton, obviously, but Edmonton won 6-1, big against Dallas.
big
They
win.
play, yeah, they play tonight at 8 in Edmonton. Um,
I'm gonna be
hopefully,
honest, I won't be watching that. I'll be watching the next game, but I will be poking in to see what
yeah. I was gonna
happens.
say the same. I'm gonna poke in and see if they can tie the series or if Edmonton goes up 3-1. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'll
A
definitely be
big,
watching.
big game tonight for the series to
Yeah,
they can tie it up, then I think Dallas is a good chance
of
of
winning it. Yeah,
of
100%. No, definitely. It's like a must-win game for them tonight for sure. Or the series is definitely going to go for a turn. Definitely. But yeah, no, we'll see how it goes. Edmonton's playing well, like I said. Connor McDavid, that's my guy. I think he's the future face of the NHL for sure. So I would like to see him win and get to the Stanley Cup for sure. But before we go, I wanted to give a quick shout out to Jeremiah Smith, wide receiver for Ohio State. He will be on the cover of the new NCAA 26 game, the regular cover and the deluxe cover, actually. So, shout out to him. He is the first Buckeye on the cover. There are a lot of people on the cover, the deluxe cover, but the regular cover is just like him and Ryan Williams,
Yeah.
the receiver from Alabama. But no, congratulations to him. Shout out to him, first Buckeye on the cover.
Yeah.
Which,
I also
yeah,
I'd love to give a little shout out. My brother made track and field nationals. He'll be competing in the decathlon for the
yeah,
NCAA track and field nationals June
uh-huh.
11th. So coming
Yeah.
up. Hopefully
No,
we get a
definitely.
chance to have him on the show to kind
Yeah,
of
I
talk
was
about
gonna
his
say that.
journey.
I'm like, yeah, we gotta have him on the show, 100% for sure. Congratulations on that for sure, and tell him I definitely want him on the show. We gotta have him on.
But
You know,
I will be in Oregon and Eugene, in Tracktown, USA for track and field nationals this year, to watch him, but also I'll be there, kind of keeping an eye on what's going on in the track and field world, which we
yeah,
don't cover a ton.
we don't cover a ton, but
It is fun, I will
yeah,
say.
I do love track though for sure, and it is that season for sure. So
Coming
definitely,
up on some big professional meets too this summer. So
yeah, yeah, no, definitely. Looking forward to that. Again, congratulations to your brother for sure. We definitely gonna have him on.
yeah.
Definitely want to meet him and talk to him 100%. Definitely for sure. So, no, with that being said, this is the end of the He Said, She Said Sports Talk podcast. We appreciate you guys again. This is Big Red and Toni. Again, we appreciate you guys for all the support. And as always, it is love and peace.